You guys, this is Jamie with Whatever's Clever Boutique, and today I have a super special tutorial for you guys, and it means a lot to myself personally. My brother passed away back in 2019 at the age of 28. He was so amazing, and he had a phenomenal tattoo sleeve down his arm. We had that recreated when he passed away, and I had wanted to rebrand my company to a saying that he said all the time, which is whatever's clever, but just didn't ever actually take the time to do so. I just kept talking about it. And one Christmas, my husband surprised me with this whatever's clever bottle, which was inspired from the tattoo that my brother had. And he did my rebranding for me. It was the best Christmas surprise I've ever received, but that's just a backstory of what these tumblers mean to me. Daisy from Koala sent me this no need spray water slide paper as well as some A-sub vinyl sticker paper, and I was so excited to try it out. So I'm going to do a 2-for-1 tutorial here, and I printed that tattoo we had recreated on each one of those sheets. So I have Hogsmeade and Boo, both from Olive's Outlet Glitter, and we are going to go ahead and apply that today with our UV resin method. So I just apply some of that UV resin to my tumbler in a thin layer, make sure it is all smoothed out on the tumbler, and then I just go ahead and apply that glitter. Because I'm doing two different tumblers here, I used the Hogsmeade on one tumbler and Boo on the other. I just wanted to see what different glitters looked like under these different water slide and sticker paper. Once we have the glitter applied to both tumblers, we're going to go ahead and cure that under our UV light, and I let them spin for probably about 10 to 15 minutes. Once that is all cured, we can go straight in with our 2 coats of epoxy. My favorite epoxy is KS Resin Liquidy Split Ultra UV Epoxy. Once those are all cured, they are ready for us to apply our vinyl and our water slide paper. So I made a couple of mistakes, which you guys will see here soon, so pay attention when you're printing. But I'm going to start here with the vinyl, and I'm just going to cut off those edges just to make the application a little bit easier. And as always, I'm going to go ahead and just line it up on my tumbler, make sure it's where I want it. And then I'm going to apply it via the hinge method. So I'm going to pull back a little bit of that sticker paper, and I'm going to go ahead and cut down the side. And I didn't cut super smooth, so I ended up taking my X-Acto knife and just cut down just so we didn't have any of that potential backing stick to the vinyl when we go to lay it. I go ahead and just make sure it's lined up again because I kind of moved it there, and then we're going to just apply it like normal. Here's where you'll see my first mistake. I was not paying any attention when I loaded my vinyl into my printer, and I printed on the backing. So don't waste ink, don't be like me, and pay attention when you're loading the paper. But this stuff went on so smoothly, no complaints at all with that A-sub sticker paper. And this was applied to the tumbler with the Boo glitter, which is gorgeous, just shining right through that. And now my second mistake, if you noticed at the beginning when you saw me hold the vinyl and the water slide, I forgot to mirror the image on the water slide in the beginning. Again, I wasted more ink and had to reprint the image mirrored. With this water slide paper, the instruction says to print it and apply it mirrored. So I just wanted to be sure it was a flawless application and did what the instructions said. And so I just let that water slide sit in that water until it started easily removing from that backing, as you can see there. And I just set it right on the tumbler where I wanted it, although it did move This water slide paper was so easy to manipulate. As you can see here, I just got it laid where I want it, and then I try and press out any of those water bubbles with my little silicone squeegee here. And this process was pretty easy. I don't really have any complaints. There was no cracking, no stretching, anything like that. I did have a little bit of puckering at the bottom because I should have applied it a little higher up to the tumbler, but that wasn't a problem because we're gonna add vinyl striping anyway. Once I get all the water pushed out of there, I just run it right over my towel and let it dry overnight. Then we're going to apply the other side, which is my company's logo. We're going to do the same thing with the sticker paper. We're just going to remove part of that backing and press it down right onto that tumbler. And water slide, we're going to do the same application as we did as the tattoo as well. Once we get all of our decals on there, we're going to go in with one coat of epoxy just to seal it all in. Now here is what the water slide looks like with that hogsmeade glitter. This is just seriously so gorgeous. And then the same with the sticker paper and the boo glitter. For these tumblers, I'm going to do glitter booties, of course. I just add some UV resin into some mixing cups. And we're going to use Orange Julius glitter from Peachy Olive Glitters for that little outer rim. And then we're going to use the same boo and hogsmeade for the centers. As always, when making these glitter booty UV resin potions, if you will, to go into those little cavities, you do not want to add too much glitter. You still want your UV resin to move. You don't want it to be thick. You want the UV light to be able to penetrate through that glitter and cure that resin. I will say today was not my day. When creating these booties, I made so many mistakes. I think I was just rushed. I honestly don't quite remember. But I got that Orange Julius UV resin in the centers. I had to pull all of that out. And then as you'll see here in a second, when I go to apply the boo and hogsmeade glitter to the center, I didn't cure the outer ring. I just was not paying attention, and the Orange Julius blended in with the white glitters in the center. So then I had to scoop out as best as I could the UV resin that was tainted in the center, and oh my gosh, as you can see there, it's just kind of pooling into that white. So this was such a pain. I pulled it out and stirred it in and just tried to make it to where you really couldn't tell. Which I think I did a pretty good job. As a perfectionist, it's very hard for me to be okay with these mistakes, but ultimately these are my tumblers. If they were someone else's, I would have just taken all the UV resin out and started over. But as you can see here, in the end, you really can't tell. So I went ahead and cured that for about 90 seconds, and now I'm going to just seal in all of that together with some plain UV resin, and of course hit that with my torch and let that cure for another 90 seconds. And now I'm going to apply these little emojis that we had created after my brother passed away. And again, one with sticker paper and one with water slide. And we're just going to apply these the same. So I just stick the little emoji head in the water and let that kind of pull away from the backing as I apply my sticker paper. And I will say I should have probably used white backed here because it's kind of hard to see the details because it's got that like tan and stuff like that. But you can still tell enough that I went ahead and left it. I went ahead and applied those, let that water slide dry overnight, and then I went in with my pinstriping. I do have this pinstriping file on my website. You know I'm obsessed. I cut this out in all different colors of vinyl just so that they're easy and ready to go when I'm ready to pinstripe. On one of the tumblers, I went ahead and used this metallic-y holographic orange vinyl for the outline, and then for the other, I went ahead and used a metallic neon yellow. Once we get that pinstriping on, I'm going to go in with my nail tape now, and this is just a plain black, and we're going to put that right over the pinstriping we just laid to create that kind of layered look. Now here's where I pivot, and I had an idea. If I would do this again, I would do this step right after I applied that water slide. That way you don't have to worry about where the glitter goes. You can easily just do your pinstriping to cover up any glitter that maybe moves where you don't want it to move. But ultimately it turned out so cool. I went ahead and took all of these different glitters that I'm showing you, all from Peachy Olive Glitters, and we're gonna create, just like we did with the glitter booty, these little cups of UV resin. And I just have a little tiny bit because a little is going to go a long way here, and I don't add a ton of glitter at all. With the Liberty and Hollows, I did mix those two together just to create the color that I was going for. And then I just applied the So Fetch, the Hohaba, and the Daddy with the Kaneoe. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I could totally be butchering that. But I go ahead and stir those all up once I get the glitter in there. What I'm going to do is take each of those glitters and kind of just apply them into the sections that coordinate with the color. This is just creating a super dimensional look. I am leaving the other tumbler the same so you can see the difference of what the two look like. But I'm just going to carefully take that UV resin and apply it into those certain colored sections and then cure with my UV light so that it doesn't move. Once we get that tattoo side all done, we're going to go ahead and turn it around and start in on the logo. I did apply a lot less here because the colors are a lot lighter, or I should say it has a lighter background. It doesn't have that deep dark blue background. So I take a lot more time here, slowly applying those glitters into those sections. As you can see there, I did flash cure in between each of the colors, but then once I get all of the glitters applied to both sides, I'm going to go ahead and let that cure for about 5 minutes under that light. And I just love the dimension that this added. I am so glad that I did it. Like I said, to avoid the extra steps, you totally can do this step right after you apply that tattoo water slide. It turned out so good. Once that was cured, I went in with one final coat of epoxy and our tumblers are done. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This tutorial was super special to me, as you heard there with my backstory of my brother and his awesome tattoo and the creation of my company's rebranding and logo. A huge thank you to my husband. It is amazing. I love it. I hope you guys were able to gain some inspiration from this and that you guys can try out this A-Sub sticker paper and koala water slide paper. The water slide paper is so nice because you don't have to do all the spraying of the clear spray paint and all that hassle and smell. It was just so easy. This worked out so well. Raving reviews from me. You'll see more of these products being used in future tutorials. But if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to go ahead and ask in the comments below. But this tutorial also inspired another tutorial I have in the foresight, and I am so excited. You guys will instantly know when I post it which one it is. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys again here soon. Thank you so much for watching.